Let's get into this $20 billion gamble. All right, let's talk about it, man. Let's get into that. All right. So listen, in the year 2000, Netflix went to Blockbuster's headquarters. They pulled up. They thank him, get him to drop the bag. They had this proposal, a partnership. See, they wanted to sell the company for $50 million. Notice I said 50 million. All right, but Blockbuster didn't see the idea. They didn't see the vision. They said no. All right. They said no. 24 years later, Blockbuster has one store, and that store is up in Alaska. Netflix, well, you know what they got? Netflix has over 301 million subscribers. That's $45 billion in annual revenue and is in the middle of one of the most atrocious contract or content bet in media history. See, Netflix gambled on itself after they was told no. But here's what nobody is seriously talking about. All right. Netflix doesn't actually know if it's going to work. And I'm talking about this new maneuver that they're working on. See, every single year they gamble. Okay? $17 to 20. Or should I say 17 to 20 billion dollars on content. That's the gamble. 17 to 20 billion dollars on content. And every single year, most of it fails. So how is this company still winning? How are they doing what they doing? And that's what we're going to cover today. Because we need to find this out. This is a case study. I took the time out. I had to deep dive this, man, because I'm real interested. Because with the Armand Media Group, this is where I want to go. I want to go here. I don't want to copy what Netflix is doing. I want to be the media mogul that I could possibly be. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand something about building a media empire that almost business schools will never teach you. They not gonna go into this, all right? So let's hey, we ain't even got time to play around. Matter of fact, we're not gonna play around. We're gonna talk about what it really is to do what we need to do. So we need to talk about the Blockbuster pivot. We need to talk about the reframe, the story that is very universally known, and how Netflix didn't know if it was gonna work or not, all right? So we're going to break this down into acts. So let's talk about the beginning. And the funny thing is we need to talk about how a late fee built a $45 billion empire. And that's crazy. A late fee did this. See, in 1997, you know, the internet barely existed. As, you know, most people sit back and think about it. It wasn't even there. DVDs, they was all brand new. And Reed Hastings, a software entrepreneur from California, he had just got charged $40 in late fees for returning Apollo 13 to Blockbuster. Blockbuster. Y'all charged the man $40 and he basically knocked y'all out the ballpark. Now, whether this story is exactly true or slightly embellished for marketing purposes, it really doesn't matter. What matters is what Hastings did next. He and his co-founder, Mark Rudolph, asked one question. They sat with each other, they chopped it up, they were sipping a little tea or whatever they was doing. They asked one question. What if you could rent movies the way you pay for a gym, monthly, no late fees, no trips to the store? What if you could do that? Can you imagine sitting at the cafe, at a cafe or at dinner, and this idea pops up? That idea became Netflix, y'all. What they did was so universal, was so astronomical. It's not even funny. They launched a DVD by mail service in 1998. Now, if you a youngster, what do they call y'all? Gen Z? Millennial? YN? Whatever y'all are. You have to understand, Netflix for us, I'm Gen X, so Netflix for us was coming to you in the mail. You would watch the DVDs and then you would send them back. Unlike now, you can literally watch it on TV. See, there was no stores. There was no late fees. You picked online, they shipped it to your door. Now, my guys over at Blockbuster, they thought it was cute. Hollywood thought it was a novelty. And the rest of the media industry, well, they snubbed their nose at them, and they didn't think much about it at all. But here's what they missed. Netflix wasn't building a DVD company. They was building a data company. Every disc they shipped, they were tracking what they rented, or should I say, what they rented to you. They track what you like, what you return fast, and what sat on your shelf for 2 weeks because you felt guilty about not watching it. They were building a map of human taste. And nobody, not Blockbuster, not Hollywood, not the studios, understood what that map would actually or eventually be worth in the future. Here's the real test that was coming to them. Because in 2000, the year they tried to sell Blockbuster, Netflix almost died. See, that dot-com bubble, it busted. Netflix had to lay off, a third of its staff in one single day. Third. Man, a third. Imagine building something, pouring everything into it, and then having to walk in, look these folk in the eye, and tell one in every third person on your team, this is their last day. That's about as gut-wrenching as what happened with Facebook when they emailed their employees here recently when they decided they was going to pour over $175 billion into AI. See, that wasn't the pivot back then. That was the gut check. And I'm telling you, man, it was crazy because Hastings and Rudolph made a decision that changed everything. Instead of chasing profitability by cutting the product, they doubled down on the model. See, they launched a subscription-based model with unlimited rentals, a flat monthly fee. And all of this popped off in 1999. And then in 2007, they did something nobody truly expected. They killed their own business. They killed it. Like, they literally woke up, looked at each other, was like, hey, bro, let me holler at you. They called each other and killed out their own business. And I know you sitting back, you're like, well, T, what you talking about? See, they sat back and they became visionaries, and they saw what was coming before anyone else did. And they made the most hardest decision in business. They decided to disrupt something themselves before anyone else could do it for them. And can you imagine sitting back and coming up with an idea, and then you turn around and say, oh, we're gonna flip the script, we're gonna do away with it. They killed their own business. They killed out their own freaking business. They placed all their chips on the table. The bets was in. They built the machine. And it's crazy because as we sit back and we ponder, and I know some of y'all like, man, what is it? Well, here's what it was. In 2007, that was the year that changed everything about how humans interacted with media. See, I don't know if anybody remembers, or maybe too young to remember, but the iPhone launched. YouTube was 1 year old. Broadband internet was finally fast enough to watch videos on without buffering every 30 seconds. And Netflix, quietly, without press conference, without anybody in the room, launched a streaming feature inside of its existing services. So here's where this picture goes to. You can still rent the DVDs, but now you can stream it online. No fanfare. Just, here's a button. Click it. Watch it. That's how they did it. They didn't do no worldwide media blitz. They didn't do no grand launching of programs. They didn't do that. They said, here's a button. Click it and watch. They just started building the future while still running in the past. Basically, they sat back and said, forget it, man. We're going to destroy the DVD industry. That's called a two-runway strategy. Now, here's the funny part. Most companies don't have the nerve to do that. And what is a two-way strategy? Well, a two-way strategy in most people, this is the pro tip that you never heard of, is keep the current business alive by funding the next one. Now, some of y'all could take heed to that. But what's crazy is this. By 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. 100,000 employees, 9,000 stores, gone. And people looked at Netflix and said, okay, they won. But Reed Hastings wasn't celebrating. Nah, he was nervous. Man, they said dude was biting his fingernails because he understood something most people missed about competition. The company that disrupts you is never the one you're watching. It's the one you're not. So by 2013, everyone saw what Netflix had built. They got in their war rooms. They all wanted in. So peep game. Amazon, Disney, Apple, Hulu, HBO. Streaming wars had begun. And Netflix made a decision that the entire industry called reckless. Netflix greenslight House of Cards. Budget, woo, $100 million upfront commitment for seasons 2. Data used to make this decision was everything. Most TV networks at that time will film a pilot, test it with a focus group, like a think tank. Get notes from 17 executives, rewrite it, film another pilot, and maybe, just maybe, order 6 episodes. Netflix said, we ain't doing that. That's too much time wasted. They said, we're not doing that. They looked at their data and said, we know Kevin Spacey drives engagement. We know David Fincher's directing style retains viewers. We know political dramas over-index with our core subscriber base. Is the marketers or the markets. It's what they care about. We're ordering 2 full seasons before a single frame had been filmed. They dropped it, man. House of Cards was in full effect. Premiered February 1st, 2013. Every episode dropped at midnight. And for the first time in history, people watched the entire series on television in a single weekend. Hence the phrase binge watching was born. That's the model. That binge watching thing, that wasn't an accident. That was done on purpose. It was deliberate. It was a deliberate psychological architectural build to lock you in. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. Netflix wasn't just betting on content, it was betting on thesis. And the thesis was definitely this. If we know enough about what you want to watch before you know what to watch, we can build a content machine that never loses. And guess what? They did it. See, most media companies ask, what's popular right now? Let's make more of that. Netflix asks, what does this specific person want to watch next? And what can we make that answers the questions before they even ask it? That's a fundamentally different ballgame. And it's a game that has been winning ever since. But the road wasn't clean. Between 2010 and 2022, Netflix had made some mistakes that almost cost them everything. See, there was a debate. There was a serious debate going. The Quickster debacle, look it up if you don't know it. They tried to split the streaming and DVD business into 2 separate companies with 2 separate subscriptions. Didn't work. See, social media became outraged with this. But within 30 days, they said, no, we ain't doing that. Now, most people took from what I just said that they shouldn't raise the prices too fast. But the real reason is different. The real reason is even the best companies in the world make catastrophic mistakes. What matters is how fast you course correct. Netflix killed it in a month, absorbed the backlash, and went right back to building. That's the kind of operator mentality that builds empires. You gotta think about that. That was something dope. All right, but we need to talk about the system. How this machine actually works. And that's crazy because Netflix is that that dominant machine. See, they'll tell you Netflix is successful because they have great content. That's like saying a plane flies because it has wings. Technically true, completely useless. All right, let me show you, let me break it down to you how the machine actually works. So Netflix has an operating system. All right, system one is the data flywheel. Every second you spend on Netflix, the platform is collecting that data. Data. It's all the same. Not just what you watch, everything. What you scroll past, what thumbnail made you stop. Now that's crazy because I'm gonna tell you something why this hit hard for me. Because I was literally watching Netflix one day, and I think matter of fact, I was watching Equalizer. It had one thumbnail. I logged off of it, logged back on, and it had a different thumbnail. I'm like, that ain't what was on here a minute ago. But my subconscious brain had picked it up. And so you have to think they strategically do things because they wanted to see what would make you do this or make you do that. They wanted to know how many seconds into a show you abandoned it, whether you rewatched the scene, whether you finished a series the same day that you started it. All of this was strategically done. They wanted to make sure that the flywheel collected enough data points that the algorithm would understand what was going on. See, Netflix stores over 2 exactobytes, not terabytes, not gigabytes, exactobytes of viewer behavior data. All right. They put that into perspective. 1 exactobyte is 1 billion gigabytes. And I might be saying that wrong, but I'm just telling you. You have to understand, they have 2 of them full of nothing but information about what humans want and what they want to watch. And here's the flywheel. More subscribers, more data, better recommendations, better content decisions. Better content leads to what? More subscribers. Every year the flywheel spins, it gets harder for a competitor to catch up. So for me, I don't want to catch up. I just want to get my piece of the pie. Because you can't buy 28 years of global behavior data. You have to earn it, 1 viewer at a time. But the data flywheel isn't just about recommendations. It's about content bets. So now we got to get into the data-driven content production. And that's where we find out what happens for a reason. Before Netflix greenlights a single dollar of content, they already know the answer to the questions traditional studios have to guess at. Questions like, what actors drive the most subscribers, retention, in which markets, which narrative genres have the highest completion rate? So that's broken down. Which show concepts have signals in search browser data? Meaning people already are looking for this type of content, but they're not finding it. Netflix has done all of this already. Netflix has become the king of what's going on. That's not making content because of a creative executive had a hunch. They're making content because a machine told them there's a gap in the market combined with a human who knows how to fill it. That's why Squid Games, a Korean survival drama with subtitles, became the most watched show in Netflix history. Somebody explained that to me. I didn't watch it. But basically, when I did this case study, it told me, I deep dived this bad boy. The data told me, and not only me, but it told them. Korean content dramatically over indexed in, the corporate, the completion rates. They bet on it. They were right. The lessons for every creator in this room, your audience, is leaving you breadcrumbs every single day. Which episodes get shared? Which pieces of content generate the most DMs? Which topics drove discovery called bookings. See, Netflix has laid out the blueprint for y'all. For me, for everybody. You're just not reading it. Because I wasn't at first. I'm not even going front. But then they did something else, man. They came up with a pricing architectural structure. See, Netflix doesn't have a price. It has a pricing system. And that's 3 tiers. 3 different buyers, 3 different revenue models built into one subscription. All right. So they have a $6.99 subscription. Ad-supported tier. Is it the discount? It's at the door. It lets price-sensitive customers into the ecosystem and then monetize them twice. Once through the subscription fee, once through an ad revenue. They killing the game. Man, I'll tell you. Now here's the counterintuitive part. Some ad tier users actually generate more revenue per month from Netflix than the standard subscribers do. Subscriber fees plus advertising revenue can exceed this, a standard plan in no time. That price is out the door. They didn't build a cheaper product. They built a more monetizable one. They sat back. Let me think about that. They addressed it in a lower price to expand the market. Now that's crazy. Now, again, they addressed that. All right. And this was a pricing genius right here. And it's directly acceptable to how you build your own offer stack. And then the password pivot sharing situation comes into play. See, in 2022, Netflix had a problem. 100 million people were using the service for free. Yeah, man, you know how we do. Hey, cuz, you get the service? Man, shoot me that password, cuz. You live in Kentucky, they living in California. They watching your Netflix. Now, if you don't pay, nobody watching. But it was multiple people doing this. 100 million people. They were sharing passwords. They was using family members' accounts. Freeload. Man, come on, man. This ain't a black and white issue. This is we ain't trying to spend that bread type issue. But Netflix knew about it for years. They did nothing about it. What happened next is one of the greatest monetization moves in modern business history. Most companies would have cracked down hard, shut it off, made people feel punished. Netflix did the opposite. They rebranded the crackdown as a feature. Instead of them doing this, hey, you can't use your sister's account anymore. It became, add someone outside your household for $7.99 a month. So think about this. You got the plan at $6. Now you're going to pay $13. That $13 is going to get you in the dough. All right. The results became 50 million new paying subscribers added within 12 months of that crackdown. 50 freaking million. Not from a marketing campaign, not from a monetization of an audience that was already there. It came from the crackdown. You wanted to know where your next revenue surge is hiding? It's already right there in front of you. Look at who's already getting value from what you do. And look who's not paying for it. See, podcasting listeners who've been following you for 2 years, email subscribers who read your newsletters, social media followers who share your content, but have not brought anything from you, that's that 100 million. So you got the retention engine, right? Let's talk about that a little bit. Netflix's lowest churn rate in industry history isn't an accident, it's an engine. See, what they did was they autoplay countdown. The "Are you still watching?" prompt, the post-credit screen that teases you the next episode, the recommendation roll that appears the moment you finish that show. Purposely done, pattern interrupted, put right to you for you to see. Every one of those is deliberate retention mechanisms, not technical features, a behavioral design choice. They studied how habits formed. They learned that the moment after you finish consuming something is the highest risk moment for the habit to break. And they feel that moment with the next piece of content before you could reach your phone. See, the platform is designed so that you're leaving never feels like the right time. It's always one more thing. That's not an addiction. That's architectural. In every subscription, business, yours included, should be thinking about what happens in the moment after someone consumes your content. Them 2 extra bytes stat is staggering. Let it breathe. That content, that's for them creators. In each system, with a direct creator application to maintain engagement from your business audience. That's what you gotta do. So check this out. You got the real competitive advantage that nobody wants to talk about. Here's the question smart investors and operators always ask about a business. And that is, when you sit there, you think about it, you ponder, what would you have to be true for this company to fail? What would have to be true for this company to fail? For Netflix, let me give you the real answer. Not the surface level one you read about in your business school study, case studies, and all of that. We're going to give it to you. See, Disney has a better IP, Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, ESPN. Amazon has deeper pockets. They could outspend Netflix on content indefinitely. Apple has better hardware and $1 trillion ecosystem. HBO, well, that's prestige. It's got any Emmys. They got The Sopranos, The Wire. They got Game of Thrones. So why is Netflix still winning? Because none of those competitors have what Netflix has. They have a content advantage, an ecosystem advantage, and a financial advantage. Netflix has that data advantage that compounds every single day and can never be purchased. Think about it. Here's what compounding data means. Netflix's recommendation engine is responsible for surfacing more than 80% of all content that gets watched on their platform. 80%. Which means 80% of the time, Netflix is telling you what to watch, and you're going right along with it. That's not a streaming service. That's a cultural programming algorithm in plain scaling sight. What else can you do? But here's the part that should make every entrepreneur sit up straight. Netflix's advantage isn't just the data, it's the loop that the data creates. So I'll break it down for you. Took me a minute to understand it, but I finally got it, I think. See, every time Netflix makes content decisions using data, whatever, and that content succeeds, the model gets smarter. Every time it fails, the model gets smarter in a different way. This is not losing in the feedback loop. Every bet, win or lose, makes this machine a whole lot better. Here's what you don't understand. That's the deepest competitive advantage in modern media. Not money, not talent, not relationships. A feedback loop that gets smarter every single rep. And the psychological trigger underneath it all, fear of missing out. The cheap, manipulative kind. The real kind. When everyone at your job is talking about Wednesday, when your group chat is, spending time sending out Squid Game memes, when the Monday morning conversation is about what you watched over the weekend, Netflix has already engineered FOMO at the civilization scale. The fear of missing out, the fear of being outside of the cultural conversation is more powerful than anything an advertising campaign has ever built. Understand this, that 80% recommendation stat is jaw-dropping. It hit hard, and I'm about to connect it to the creator control, content control immediately. Here's what you got to understand. This is the shift. You've been watching this case study breakdown for 25 minutes. Now let me give you your money's worth. Here are the 5 things I need you to walk away with from this case study. Not surface level takeaways. Not, have a great content advice. 1, operators level lesson. All right, lesson 1, your subscription model is the most powerful structure ever built. They built a monthly recurring revenue machine with a streaming service inside of it. That distraction matters. If you're selling coaching courses or services, every offer you build should be pushing towards a subscription, a monthly community, a membership, a retainer. Not because it's trendy, because recurring revenue is the only revenue that compounds. Every month a subscriber stays in every month a subscriber stays is another month of compounding relationship, trust, and lifetime value. Lesson number 2 is you got to monetize your audience. The gold is already in with your audience. Netflix added 50 million subscribers without a single new marketing campaign. They looked at 100 people, or should I say 100 million people, that already was in their ecosystem and created a path for them to pay. You have people listening to your podcast right now, or you have people watching your content right now, but have never bought anything from you. You have email subscribers who has opened up every newsletter for the past 2 years. You have a social media follower who DM you with questions every week. That's your 100 million. Before you spend another dollar on ads or another hour on audience building, ask yourself, how I made it easy enough for these people already watching me to pay me? Usually the answer is no, you haven't. So now you need to get into lesson 3, and that's build your feedback loop, not just a content calendar. Netflix doesn't make content because it feels right. They make content because the data says there's a gap. And that gap is right here in front of you, and you need to fill it. You can build your version of that every month. Track it. Here's what you need to track. Which episodes, videos, posts generate the most DMs? Which pieces of content drive the most sales or inquiries? Which topics lead people to book discovery calls? Put that in a spreadsheet, a Notion doc, whatever you want to do. Do it for 3 months and then look at the pattern. That pattern is a content strategy, not what you feel like talking about, not what's trending, what's actually moving your audience towards becoming clients. All right, so we got through lesson 3, we got to talk about lesson number 4. You need to build a tiered offer stack. Netflix has 4 price points and 4 different revenue models running simultaneously. Most creators just have one. If you have a $2,000 program, you're invincible to a person who needs to see you with a $27 product first before they can trust you enough to invest at that level. Free content is your ad-supported tier. That's the attention. That's the trust builder. Low-ticket products, $27 to $97, that's your enter ecosystem. A monthly community is $27 to $100 a month. That's the recurring relationship. And then we get into the premium coaching. All right, that's $1,000 to $5,000 plus. That's the transformation. All right, each tier has a next level that it feeds. The most $27 buyers become $97 buyers because it works, and then they become a $2,000 client. That's not a funnel. That's an ascension system. Netflix has been running this for 20 plus years. And then lesson number 5, you got to engineer the moment after they consume your content. Netflix spent billions figuring out the most dangerous moment in their business. The moment after they finish a show, that's when most people likely close the app and don't come back. So they engineered that moment. Autoplay recommendations, they gave you a bunch of teasers. And what's your version of that is what you should be thinking about. What happens the moment someone finishes your podcast episode? Do you have a clear next step? Do you have a link in your show notes? A CTA that pulls them deeper into your world? What happens after someone reads your newsletter? Is there a reply CTA, a community link, an offer? The moment after consumption is the highest leverage moment. Most creators ignore that entirely. All right. Netflix built an empire on that single model right there. So now you already know. You've been watching 25 minutes as a meta moment before the lesson. All right, 5 lessons equal 5 natural chapters. That's it. You have to understand. We're sitting right here. All right, so here's the future. What comes next and what could be the breaking point for everything? What comes next for us? Netflix isn't done. Not even close. And you shouldn't be either. Right now, they're building 3 new legs on the table. Netflix is laying down their bets. Number 1, advertising. You have to think about this. Ad support tier is approaching 100 million monthly active users. Ad revenue is projected to hit 6.5 billion by 2027. Netflix is quietly becoming one of the most powerful advertising platforms on the planet Earth, with the most precious viewers and the most precious viewer data of all media companies in history. Think about it. Netflix knows what you watch, when you watch it, and how you feel when you watch it. They can tell. They can sit back and say, hey man, put your stuff here. We'll show your car commercial at the exact moment in a road trip documentary when the viewers engage are sitting high, when they're at their peak. All right, that's not advertising. That is a precious weapon. Live events is the number 2. Heard lately, WWE on Netflix, NFL Christmas games, boxing matches. Man, Netflix is entering live sports and live events. And I'm telling you, they killing it. Why? Because live is one format that makes subscriptions feel urgent. Think about this. You can watch a drama series anytime, but if you're watching to see the championship match, you need to subscribe tonight. Live events create what I call appointment viewing. Appointment viewing reduces churn. All right. And then number 3 is the physical expectations. Netflix is opening up physical venues. Netflix House, they have entertainment. All in that. They're building their IP. That's their in-house infrastructure. They're not just a media company anymore. They're building an entertainment universe. They're trying to compete with the big dogs, but that's the threat nobody wants to say out loud. Artificial intelligence is about to change every assumption Netflix business models has on it. All right. So right now, Netflix competitors, they have a moat around them. We know what you want to watch. And we spent $20 billion making it. But what if the cost of making content drops to 0? That's where it's going to get crazy. What if AI can generate a fully personalized film based on your viewing preferences in real time for a real fraction of what it costs to produce a scripted series today? That content mode disappears. What's left? Audience relationship, brand trust, and data. All right. Companies that survive the AI disruption in media won't be the ones with the biggest content libraries. They'll be the ones with the deepest audience relationships. And that right there, that's something Netflix competitors can't buy. So think about it. It's something for you as a creator, building direct relationships with your community of people who trust you already. They have your vision. The question is, are you building fast enough? That's the main question. All right, so let's not play around with it. Take and implement some of the things we've talked about. Because here's the real lesson. And this lesson is worth more than anything you could ever see. In the year 2000, Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix for $50 million. They said no. They couldn't see past DVD. They couldn't imagine a world where a store didn't matter, where late fees were gone, where an entire media industry would be recognized once a month. Subscription and recommendation engines, all right? They were too busy protecting what they had built, and they didn't understand what was coming. Netflix didn't win because they had the best content. They won because they had the clearest vision of where media was going. And they bet everything on that vision before anyone else could put their hands on it. They built a data machine before data was even sexy. They launched a streaming when broadband was still a luxury. They killed their own DVD business before it could kill them. They added ads after 25 years of being proudly ad-free. Every single time the world said that wouldn't work, they said, just watch us. This lesson isn't building a streaming service. This lesson is build a system before you need it. Bet on your audience before they go anywhere, and be willing to disrupt yourself before the market does it for you. $20 billion gamble isn't really a gamble. It's the only one. If you're the only one who built the machine and it paid off, that's the game. All right. Now go build your vision of this game, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.